Yo guys, Zect here and welcome to my new video. Today with a comparison between the Xbox Series X in Siegewar and the Xbox One X. For that I pulled out some old footage from Calphion Siege Wars and the most recent Siege War we've done against Balls Deep on the Xbox Series X, and I just wanted to make this video to you can see the difference. For completion, I have to say to keep the I have to mention that the stream from the Xbox One X wasn't 30 FPS, but you don't have 30 FPS in Siege War, so it's actually worse than it looks. I mean, it even looks worse compared to Xbox Series X, but it's even worse than it looks here. So yes, I think you can get an idea. I mean, most players will know that if they do large-scale PvP, how it really feels. And even with the Xbox One X, I had an external SSD. Even with that setup, what was probably one of the best setups you can get, like old gen, it was still like Calphion Siege was really bad performance wise, and this video is in 60 FPS. I'm not playing on 4K. I'm not honestly. I don't need 4K. I'm not like a player who like needs 4K. I'm playing on a monitor. It's not like a super small one, but also not a big one. So like full HD is definitely enough for me personally, but this is something you guys have to decide for yourself. So I will play full HD because I want to have the most like possible FPS, like best performance. And so this is no 4K footage. This is like full HD, like 1080p in 60 FPS. And from what I've noticed, or from what you can also see here, you can definitely get those 60 FPS like more or less constant in Siege Wars. Sometimes I also had a few lags on Series X, and also the one thing you don't see here, I had one game crash on the Calphion Siege, so crashes will still happen. Also, desync is still a thing. I had the feeling since I have like next gen, like when I fight PS4 players, especially PS4 players. Also, I have this problem with some Xbox players. I don't do that much PvP lately because I don't have that much time. I like grind more, but when I do PvP, I notice that since I'm on new gen and most people are still on old gen, there's sometimes more desync than like usual with the old gen. It could be that since I'm like on good performance now, that I really start to notice the desync, and it could be that, but I feel like desync is a bit worse. Could be my personal yeah, maybe it's just me, but so desync is still a thing. I heard from a wizard in another guild who has already the PS5. He told me that he also had a game crash, and he also sent me footage, so it's definitely legit. I saw footage from PS5 that you will still have, I don't know if it's a blue screen or like a gray screen, what is called for PS5 now, from what I've heard. I don't know if it's called gray screen, it's just something and I definitely saw that. So you will still have game crashes sometimes, but in general the performance is like, for me, for what I think this game is actually playable right now as a normal game experience, as any game like should be. This game is like constant FPS with a good performance, with some issues sometimes, like you have a lag here and there, you have like a game crash maybe like every few days one time. It's okay, it's definitely not like nice, but you can deal with that, but everything else is super nice. So yeah, the performance definitely good. So also on PS5 it will be nearly the same. So you PS5, PS4 players don't need to like, PS5 Sony, we don't have 120 FPS. Guys, you will get a mode for that. Like, honestly, I can't believe that they just stay this on 60 FPS, and even if not, even if you don't get 120 FPS support for your console, in Siegewar, we will definitely not have 120 FPS. I have a friend who like can't see his FPS on his monitor, and he was with me in the Siege War, and he didn't has like 120 FPS. It was more like 60 or 80. So it's maybe like a few FPS higher, but this is like nothing. This is nothing. So in the important fights, even Xbox Series X player will have like, yes, normal FPS like PS5, and if PS5 has like constant 60 FPS, you guys are totally fine. So yeah, if you get the new consoles like in a few days, just enjoy it. And yeah, I think for PS4 players will be, I think it will be something really new, especially if you have played like on the original PS5, PS4. Also for Xbox players, if you played OG Xbox, the difference is like, yeah, I can't even describe it. I mean, I started playing on an Xbox One S, so it's like a tiny bit better than the OG Xbox. I also started playing without an SSD, so I know how to play, how it feels to play like constant, really completely shit. And yeah, since I'm started to play PvP, I wanted to get something better. So I get myself the Xbox Series X with an SSD, the Xbox One X with an SSD, and now the Xbox Series X. And I think PvP is definitely fine now. I think they still need to work on game performance, like stability wise, so you don't have any game crashes or something like that. Also, you definitely have some lags and freezes, so stuff like that is definitely way less, like nowhere near as often as before, but it's still like present, it's still there. And yes, so I hope you guys enjoy, and enjoyed the footage. And yeah, guys, I would say, with that being said, see you next time.